So, like we said earlier, we teased it. Max Holloway is out of the Yair Rodriguez fight. We have not heard new news, and we have not heard why. Is it an undisclosed injury? So usually when you see stuff like that, that's when they try to tend to keep the fight together because you don't want to give your opponent the advantage by knowing what this injury is.
Or just the rest of the organization, the rest of the fighters.
Yeah.
In general. But I have 3 words to sum this up. Crying Jordan memes.
I know.
I mean, dude,
so
like
upset.
that's like when I saw that fight was out, I was like, you got to be kidding me. That was one of my most anticipated fights for the summer.
Yeah.
It was, and now it's just not going to happen, and it just sucks. It really. I mean, because dude, we were going to have International Fight Week, July 10th. You know, McGregor Poirier 3, and then we were going to do Max the next week, July 17th, Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez, and then July 24th, Corey Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw.
Oh, I know.
I mean, back to back to back, just incredible fights in the summer. And then boom, we get the news that this fight in between those two is going to get pulled July 17th. Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez, not happening anymore. And like I'm not trying to be like dramatic here, but I was devastated.
Yeah.
When I saw that news, I was like, I was looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, so what are they going to do? Is this fight going to get rescheduled? I know we kind of talked about it earlier, but I mean, do you see it getting rescheduled down the line, or are they going to find a replacement fighter for Yair Rodriguez?
Yeah. As we had talked about earlier, I really do think that's the route because, look, we don't know how severe this injury is. We don't know what kind of injury. It was completely undisclosed. But let's just say it's something not very good, and Max has to take a couple months to recover from this injury. That aligns him perfectly with the Ultimate Fighter, Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega, which will take place for the featherweight championship sometime in September. And then after that, you know, you could do a January, February against Max Holloway because unquestionably Max Holloway is the number 1 contender. Did not need to take this fight with Yair Rodriguez, but did it because he's such a badass. But, you know, injuries comes up, things happen. So I think the next matchup that makes logical sense here is a Chan Sung Jung versus Yair Rodriguez, number 3, number 4, take it on. And then let's see that fight take place. And if there are fireworks, the winner of that is a new number 1 contender after Max Holloway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's just my take.
It's curious to see what happens because I don't know if Yair is going to stay on this card and they find him, or if they just reschedule it down the road. I don't even remember what was the co-main to that fight. It doesn't matter either way. We'll see. I love me some Yair Rodriguez, and if Chan Sung Jung, if this shoulder injury isn't a lingering one, or if it's something they could pop it back in, he's good after a few days. Yeah, I would love to see that matchup, and you keep it on that date.
The co-main for that fight was Islam Makhachev versus Thiago Moises.
Oh fuck that! You could make that a main event.
Yeah, you know, I do agree with that. I just wish Islam had, maybe a higher ranked opponent. No disrespect to Thiago Moises, but we go over this time and time again that no one wants to fight Islam. I mean, dude, I would say no disrespect again to Thiago Moises, but I say you reschedule that and put someone else there. Someone higher than Thiago Moises, who's sitting at what?
That's pretty fucking disrespectful.
Well, sorry, bro, but Islam deserves it. I mean, this guy's a fucking savage, bro. He's 19-1, and no one wants to take this fight. It's just unbelievable to me.
I agree. I'm just saying that you're no disrespect, but it's fucking disrespectful.
Well, you know what? It's like saying, it's like preemptively saying, I'm sorry. Okay, before doing something really fucked up. Right? Like, I don't mean to offend you, but you look like shit. You know, it's like, well, no, that you're offending me. You can't just say no offense. It's not like a get out of jail free card here.
Yeah, I agree with that take. It's just the problem is one, no one's taking the fight anyways, and now you're going to say, hey, now you have to fight Islam on short notice. It's not happening.
It ain't happening.
Islam versus Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell's a featherweight, my guy, but you know what? I'm not going to lie. That would Islam dominate
Islam would
dominate him. I love Bryce Mitchell. I don't want to see that happen.
I really want to see that Rafael Dos Anjos matchup against Islam. That's the fight I really want to see because, one, that's going to show us where Islam Makhachev truly is in this lightweight division, which I do think he's great, but that's really going to test him. And then Rafael Dos Anjos has always been, considered that kind of top-tier guy where if you can get past him, that's the pathway to gold. But if Rafael Dos Anjos goes out there and takes all that hype away from Islam Makhachev and goes out there and beats him,
that's a number 1 contender worthy fight.
Exactly. And then after that, man, he's got to take on a top guy in this division. And if he wins that fight, give him a title shot.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that was the matchup that made the most sense. I don't know how we got off on this, but the co-main. But god dang, Rafael Dos Anjos should have took that fight. It's frustrating. And I know the circumstances, guys. Oh, one pulled out this and that. And then Rafael Dos Anjos had surgery, so I get it. I understand. But fuck, that's a fight that needed to be made.
Absolutely. Or Dan Hooker or something like that. Yeah. Somebody needed to take that fight. But yeah, if Yair doesn't get a replacement fight, if Chan Sung Jung or someone like that, I mean, who else could step in on short notice against Yair? Let's look that up real quick. I mean, you got guys like, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Calvin Kattar, Arnold Allen, like we said earlier, steps in on short notice to fight Yair Rodriguez.
I want to see that. I want to see Arnold Allen. That's who I want to see. And this kid deserves it.
Yes.
He's like 24, 25 years old, and this dude just steamrolls. Like, he's so fucking good. And his last fight against Sadiq Youssef, the way he was able to just outpoint him and outstrike him, I mean, this kid is the real deal, man. And I believe still undefeated in the UFC.
Undefeated in the UFC, and that's a fantastic main event.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic 5-round fight.
That's what I'm excited for.
Yes. I mean, look at Yair Rodriguez. Who did Yair beat last? I think it was Jeremy Stevens.
And it was been a while ago.
It was supposed to be a main event. The eye poke happened, and then they moved it up to a co-main or a 3-round fight on a pay-per-view or something like that. And then everyone was talking about how that fight should have been 5 rounds.
Yep.
I want to see Yair Rodriguez go 5 rounds, and Arnold Allen would be a huge test for both of these men. You know, I mean, you also have Calvin Kattar. That's a fantastic matchup as well. That would be a huge test as well. Calvin Kattar's got 5-round cardio, and he's got fantastic boxing. I'd love to see it. I'd lean Yair in that fight. Arnold Allen would be different because he's bringing in the ground game. He's bringing in that jiu-jitsu. He's bringing in the wrestling. So there's a lot of options you could do. I mean, would you even be shocked if you saw Edson Barboza step in short notice?
That's another one. That's another one. And not only that, but Edson would deserve a fight like that. There are matchups, dude. And that's perfect for Edson Barboza, too, because, you know, he did have some early questionable fights in the featherweight division where it could have went either way. One in specific, Dan Ige, was a pretty close fight. Mm-hmm. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, at number 9 right now for Edson Barboza to take on number 3 and go out there and upset him, he's right in line for a featherweight shot, dude.
Yeah,
and
that's what he wants.
Edson Barboza.
Absolutely.
That's a name. That's a name that sells, to at least for the hardcores. I mean, maybe not the casuals, but that's a great fight. That's a great matchup as well. So, give me Edson Barboza. Give me Arnold Allen. I'm cool with either one of those. But Yair Rodriguez has not fought since October 18th, 2019.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, it's crazy. It's like we got to see him fight.
He's got to stay on this card.
Yeah,
you know, unless they go, hey, it's only an eye cut with Max Holloway, and he's going to fight 1 month later.
Yeah,
and then in that situation, you could be like, okay, you could wait 1 more month for Yair.
And that's fine.
You know, like you said earlier, if it's a pretty decent injury and he's got to sit out a while, you have to keep Yair on that card, and you have to find a replacement fighter. We'll see. You know, stay. Like I said earlier, guys, go follow. I would rather keep them together. Max keeps Max busy and gives another title shot contender. Yes, I understand that, but you know, like I said, Yair needs to fight. He needs to fight, and he needs to fight soon. So, you know, give me anybody. Keep him on this card. Let's keep this kid active because he is 1 or 2 wins away from a legitimate title shot.
Yeah.
So anything could happen. Anything could happen in this wild sport. And like I said, follow our Instagram, guys. We will keep you up to date on this news. So the second a new matchup gets made or we find out it gets moved down the road, we will keep you up to date.